As planes take off and countries reopen to tourists, just like here in the Philippines, people around the globe are wondering if it's safe to travel again. Let's hear from a man who's been to numerous beautiful destinations. Travel entrepreneur Jeremy Jauncey joins us now live from London. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us on the program.
That's my pleasure, Rico. Thank you for having me.
So, a vaccine has already been rolled out there in the UK. And now you have various countries having their own health protocols and policies. How can the travel industry, in your view, cope and catch up during this pandemic?
To be honest, Rico, I think for the last 6 months, given the travel industry has been really at a complete standstill, you're seeing amazing health protocols on airlines. You're seeing growing and improving health protocols on cruise lines. Certainly the hotel and hospitality industry at large has been investing very, very heavily in their health and safety protocols. So I really do believe that the tourism industry, for the most part around the world, is ready to accept tourists and to do so in a safe way. The challenge is more now just convincing people how to get out there and travel themselves.
I know, to get out there and travel, because of course COVID-19 is still here and the vaccines are only being rolled out. And many countries, of course, Jeremy, still rely heavily on the tourism dollar to survive. Are travel bubbles, in your view, the solution to restart their economies, particularly here in Asia?
Yes, so Rico, you raise a very, very good point. Of course, travel is a wonderfully enjoyable industry for individuals, but they may not realize quite how powerful it is as an economic driver. Prior to COVID, 1 in 10 jobs in the world was in the travel and tourism industry. And in the last few years, certainly 1 in every 5 newly created jobs was coming from our industry. So there is a huge impact on the world when we're not able to travel, aside from the sort of mental and challenges that individuals might feel personally. The economic impact is real. I do think travel bubbles are a positive thing. I think it's very, very important to do anything that we can to stimulate tourism, but certainly in the short term, most of the data that we're seeing, and certainly the insight that we're getting from places like the World Travel and Tourism Council, are suggesting that domestic tourism is what's going to drive the recovery in the short term.
And speaking of domestic tourism, Jeremy, Philippine tourism has been hit hard during this health crisis. A lot of Filipinos have been left unemployed. Being a travel entrepreneur and a strategist, how should the Philippines position itself once again as a beautiful destination to international travelers?
Yes, so I was very fortunate to have a conversation last week with Secretary Bernard, the Tourism Minister. She has an amazing plan and an amazing team. You heard from one of her colleagues earlier just now. But the focus really on the Philippines has been what you always do, which is the celebration of beauty and the natural resources that the country has. I think as travel bounces back, people will be excited about the idea of getting out into nature, exploring outside of large metropolitan areas. And certainly when you think about the Philippines, we all know about the beautiful beaches, we all know about the beautiful landscapes, we'll know about the quality of the water and the seas around the country, which are all very, very powerful assets for driving tourism. So it's really not so much, in my opinion, a changing of what the Philippines is and what the Philippines stands for. It's just a reinforcing and reminding people how amazing the country is and how powerful the tourism product is.
Absolutely. We have more than 7,100 islands, and we have some of the best beaches in the world. So, Jeremy, what is the way back to promoting our premier destinations? Is it through traditional media or digital and social media?
Yes, well, the ministry certainly has stepped up with a campaign and a website that you can go to, which is www.philippines.travel. It's an amazing resource for any Filipinos, actually any travelers that are looking for how they can get around the country in the most safe and secure way. I believe it has a partner app as well. My business is very much focused on digital and social media as a way to connect with people and as a way to help tourism leaders to promote their countries. So we are very much in favor of looking at ways to increase the amount of content that you are creating about the places that you want to talk about, using the channels that people are spending their time on. In lockdown, you'll be unsurprised to hear that more and more people have been spending their time on mobile, more and more people have been spending their time on social media, and certainly that appetite to travel is still there. Filipinos around the world and certainly within the Philippines are very heavy users of social media. And so I would highly encourage those that are within the tourism industry thinking about promoting themselves to look at those channels.
And Jeremy, you're 13 hours away from London to Manila. If given the opportunity to come back in the Philippines, what would be on your bucket list? Which destinations?
So, I've been very fortunate, Rico. I've been to the Philippines many times. I have a huge love for the country, a very, very big passion for the people. And I really haven't done anywhere near the amount that I need to. So I have been in and out of Manila many times. When I first came, we did Cebu, we did Bohol, we did... the Beautiful Destinations team went down to Siargao and we filmed there. But really, I am very open for recommendations. So if you or the team or anyone that's watching this wants to reach out with ideas for where to go in the Philippines, I think so much of the idea of coming back into travel when people do start traveling again is going to be focused around sustainability. You can see the images on the screen show how powerful nature is within the Philippines. And so those are areas that I'm very, very excited to explore. So actually, I have been to Palawan and voted one of the best islands in the world, if not the best island in the world. You have some of the best beaches in the world. And of course, the Filipino people are amongst some of the best in the world. So you have everything you need if you're thinking about getting back to travel to come and visit the Philippines.
Jeremy, we're expecting you to be back here in the Philippines sometime in 2021. We're looking forward to that. Jeremy Jauncey, the founder and CEO of Beautiful Destinations.